Okay, I'm back. I'm eating my lunch. So give me a minute. So we were working on drag and drop, but there's a bug and we're not sure where it is. So I can drag, drop, and we can see in our output log now that invoke add item with index 28. So we added the item to the inventory grid at the right spot. But then when we add the item to the return table down here, it's coming in with grid index x0, y0, and index 0. So it's giving us like our original return table values. So something seems to be going wrong here. Let me get my lunch bowl and get something on television. Are we not?
Yes. And she said that I was left for Pittsburgh last Friday to visit her ailing mother, so there's no way that she could have asked you to make a house like before last. So that you would see exactly what you saw, the witch's stuff. Well, it's possible it was someone else.
Aha.
Hello? Well, yes, I am. Thank you for calling me. Your privilege just became less exclusive. Hey, the Hume's ghost was just spotted at the old breeding place. Half the town must be there by now.
But what's draw?
I'm so sorry about your farm. Did you look in the root cellar? Well, there should be a trapdoor in the floor someplace. May I? Ah, here it is. Out of this pile of debris. Diaries. PM? But sheriff, if she died between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m., it could have been Irene who was pursued into the bar last night because she was already dead.
Teddy, shut up, fool. You dingus. Here it is. Okay. Alright, we're gonna have to rewind a bit in this video.
As well. So let's handle the case corner of where our mouse is. So basically where we're trying to drop at. And so we're checking room is available, and then we just want to go ahead and return that. So we'll just copy this guy and
Okay, now I get my lunch.
we need to take in, actually, yeah, we need to take in the want to set the array element at this index, so we'll drag in the index, clean it up a little bit. So we want to set the item at that index to nothing, so we really just want to leave this empty. And then we also want to set is dirty to true. So we'll say it's for each loop. And then for each item, we basically want to check if that item equals the item we're dropping, and if it does, then we want to set it to nothing, basically, or like invalidate it. So we'll say equals, and we want to check if it equals the get item object. And if it does, do a branch. Then we want to say items set array element. And so we want to set the array element at this index. So we'll drag in the index, clean it up a little bit. So we want to set the item at that index to nothing. So we really just want to leave this empty. And then we also want to set is dirty to true. Since we already leave this we left in the correct spot. So we need to write that function correctly, or in the correct spot. So we need to write that function that actually removes items from inventory. It's actually really simple. So if we go back to our inventory component, to, maybe it was like a box that you could walk up to and like put things in or take things out of, kind of like Fallout, and you wanted it to use this inventory system. Well, it would just work because if that crate were to drop an item, it would get the owner, which would be the crate, and it would drop it in front of the crate. And if it's the player, it'll drop it in front of the player. And if it's whatever it is in your game, it'll just drop it in front of whatever thing owns that inventory, right? So it should work for pretty much any use case that you have. And then we want to select true for the ground clamp because we want it to be ground clamped. And there we go. So if we run this now, and we go and we pick up the AK, and then we press I, and we drag out here, and we drop it, you can see it drops on the ground, and we can pick it up again, and we can drop it, and things work pretty nicely. Well, not quite nicely yet. So we didn't actually write the function to remove items, which is why they're not being added back correctly, or in the correct spot. So we need to write that function that actually removes items from inventory. It's actually really simple. So if we go back to our inventory component, so we pick up some items, and we drop, and we drop, and we drop, and we pick it up again. Just making sure this is all working as I would expect it to. Drop this guy, drop this guy, drop this guy, pick them all up. Yeah, it seems to be working pretty well, I think. Let me drop this guy, drop this guy, pick up this guy. Yeah, okay. I good to go. So now if we run this, it's just right.
I want to see where he calls the remove initially.
Maps and nodes. You need to make sure like so. The spawn. We want to the spawn location and then local. If this is true, then we're gonna actor.
We'll do our own logic for this.
And then we will So what we're actually going to do is inside of our game state, we're going to add the functionality so that anybody can call it from anywhere. It's just going to make things a little bit easier for you. So if you already have a game state, feel free to add in my drop on the on drop event. So over here on the left, You can say override, and on, where is it? On drop. So this will get called whenever a drag and drop operation is dropped over top of this widget. So inside of here, what we want to do is we just want to drop the item on the ground. So this is the operation. So we can say get payload, and if you remember, the payload is the actual item object. And so we can then cast this to our BP underscore item. So if you already have a game state, since no, it's called obviously when the mouse enters this section or when it leaves this section of the UI. So when it enters this section, we can safely assume that the mouse is hovering over the item. So all we want it to do is drag in the background border, and we will say set brush color. And the color we want to set it to is really up to you. Like kind of basically just want and we come down here and we bind something to this on mouse button down. So let's just hit this and say create binding. What we want to do here is simply just handle this event and let the system know that we already handled this event so that it doesn't have to do anything with this. So if we just return handled, you can see if we run this now, and we do the same thing, and I drag the mouse around the click, it no longer did it. And that's because we're basically telling the system that, don't worry about this mouse button, don't process it, we handle it ourselves, we're not doing anything with it. But notice if we do it over top of the grid, it's still happening, that's what we need to do. The same thing for the grid, so here's the grid, go to the designer tab, and we click on the border, scroll down, and override on down, and again, just return handled, like so. And just test it real quick. You can see now, wherever we click, it's not rotating the screen, but we can still work around this line, which is what we want. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is, well, the drag and drop. So basically, when we hover over an item, we want it to kind of have a white background to it, or some sort of highlighted background to show that we are hovering over it. And then we also want to be able to drag and drop it, right? So maybe let's do the hovering first. So let's go to the item widget, and then we have my other screen, so I can have something to copy. Okay, so in the event graph, we are going to override, so down here below refresh, we are going to override the on mouse button down. No, wait, that's not the right one. Control Z, what is it called? On mouse enter.
Okay.
I think. Yes, on mouse enter. There we go, that's the one. So on mouse enter, we also want to override and the use drag and drop ball. So what we need to do is drag obviously, right? So whenever it detects the drag,
Interesting.
has started. I'm going to call this event. So what we need to do inside of here is we need to then go ahead and create a drag and drop operation. So right click, and you search for create drag and drop operation, it'll show up. And so let's go ahead and create this. So the important things here are the payload and the default drag label. So the payload is essentially, if you hover over it, it probably explains better than I can. So the payload of the drag operation, this can be any UObject that you want to pass along as drag data. So it means that if you were building an inventory screen, this would be the UObject representing your item being moved to another slide. So it pretty much does exactly what it needs to be. The object that represents the frame is dragging, which of course is our item object, so we will hook that up. And then the default drag visual is the widget it will display while it's being dragged. And we basically just pass it in ourselves because we don't really want to change. If you wanted the image to look different when you're dragging it for some reason, you could create your own type over here and pass it in, but we're just going to pass it in ourselves because we don't want it to really change. And then once we have it created, we then want to remove the item object from the inventory. As soon as we start dragging it, we're going to count it as removed from the inventory. So we can say item object, and we want to call on removed. So we'll call our on removed event, like so. And then we also want to remove it from parents. So remove from parents, which will remove it from the screen itself. And then we want to return.
It's strange, but even with the robot gone, I still feel like we're being watched. What? Really? Why'd you have to say that?
The operation. So drag this guy up here, and I'm just going to figure out nodes, cut through everything. Okay. I think that's, let me see here. I think that might be all you need to see it. Oh wait, actually one thing, so in order for this to get called, you need to also do something else. So if you override the on mouse button down, you have to drag up this mouse button and say detect drag. If you don't do this, then the on drag detected will never get called. So you kind of have to tell it to like keep an eye out for a drag to happen, which is essentially what this is doing. And then you need to select the key that you want to use for dragging. So you want to use the left mouse button. If you had controller or something, you use like whatever you want here. So the left mouse button is the key we want to detect the drag for. And so this makes sure it's called, and then we'll eventually call this once the drag happens. And so if we go ahead and we play this now, we should be able to at least start dragging something, I think. Yes. So there we go. So I can now drag this around. But if I
All right, you. What's the word? That tickles. Silly raw. Got to above you. Look out! Oh no! Mama, do you see what I see? Swashbucklers or scientists? Krillin, what? We're not alone.
Okay, yeah. We took the print string out of this, so that makes sense. I think I know what's going on with some of the rest.
I drop it, it's just like disappears into, well, who really knows where it goes, but it's just gone forever. Oh, it came back. Oh, it's just like I don't know. But it's a weird state now. But we can at least start dragging things. So the next thing we need to do is handle the drops. So what I mean by that is when we are dragging something and we drop it somewhere, well, we need to figure out what it is. And if you think about it here, so if you run this again, so when we're dragging an item, we need to drop it like out here. And if we drop it out here outside our inventory, then we want to drop it on the ground in our player. But if we drop it in our inventory, then we want to try to add it to the location where we dropped it at. And if it doesn't fit there, then we want to try to add it just anywhere to the inventory. And if it can't fit anywhere in the inventory, then we want to just default drop it on the ground. So that's kind of like the logic behind how this is going to work. So let's start with the inventory. Let's start with dropping things on the ground first. I think we need that in order to do that one. So for dropping things on the ground, we basically want to detect if the mouse is over top of this area whenever we drop it. So to do that, if we go to the inventory widget, we can override
Math, I don't think is correct, but it might be like closer to working now.
the on drop. So over here on the left, you can say override and on where's it? On drop. So this will get called whenever a drag and drop operation is dropped over top of this widget. So inside here, what we want to do is we just want to drop the item on the ground. So this is the operation. So you can say get payload, and here the payload is the game state is for and the reason it's called zipper, otherwise like sequence node. And so the first thing we want to do is we want to calculate for the item to an H1 real set that you wanted to, maybe it was like a box that you walk up to and put things in or take things out of, kind of fall out, and you wanted to use this inventory system. Well, it would just work because just to be nice. So the first thing act correctly, remove items, we left this guy really blank, it's not quite working. So let's just start with. So the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that the item removed is valid. So it's valid, and it is valid. Then we want to loop over all of our items. So let's say for each loop. And then for each item, we basically want to check if that item equals the item we're dropping, and this tool, and then it pops it up on. So basically, instead of here, we kind of like override on drop. In this case, we're going to drop it to the inventory just anywhere else that will fit. So, or is this well? So it's not going to be. Specific cursor is. So we'll come back. We can is room available payload, and then we can do a branch because we need to do different things depending on if room is available or not. So if room is available, then we can simply just add the item to the inventory at the specified index, which is pretty easy. So we'll just say we want to get this operation. So we'll just right click and say get operation, and we will get payload from it. Payload, which is just our item object. Look this up to the true. And then we will say inventory component, add item at, or add item. Oh, maybe I made that function private by accident. Let me, so we can actually call it. So if you remember from before, this function is just assuming that you've already
I'm sure he's fine, Krillin. According to radar, we're practically on top of the Dragon Ball. Let's go! This wave is blowing apart. It should be right up ahead. Just a little bit further. Oh, great. Now what? Which way do we go? It's gotta be this way, Krillin. Come on. Whoa. This ought to do it.
We have an X and a Y value flipped somewhere, is what I think is going on.
Which way? Hey, Krillin must have drawn that. They went this way. You're too naive, Krillin. We can't turn back now. We're too close. Oh, great. What are we going to do? Look, is that a stairwell? It's a well now. I hate to say it, but it's the only way. I swear. I knew I should have packed my bikini trunks and my field kit.
3148.
All right, welcome to part 4 of the spatial inventory tutorial. So in the last 3, I guess we got it where you can walk over items and open them up, and it'll add them to the correct slot in your inventory. But the thing we need to do next is we need to actually drag these items around. And as you can see right now, when I drag, it is kind of like moving things around, which is ideal. So it's actually pretty easy to fix that. So basically what we need to do, if we open up the inventory widget, and
As the dangerous blue plunges in on his unsuspecting prey, Goku gets further and further away with every determined step.
A newsflash, plane's gone down.
My child is on that plane.
I'm sorry.
all right, welcome to part 3 of the spatial inventory system. So in the last 2, we got it set up so that our grid will show, and we can kind of pick up items, but they don't actually show up on the grid yet. So that's the next part we need to do, is to actually be able to visualize what's going on. So to do that, let's go to our inventory widget. And actually, let's go to our inventory grid widget rather. And we want to go inside of the initialize function. So go to the initialize function. And we kind of left off here where we created the line segments. So the next thing we...
Hey guys, and welcome to another one of my tutorials. So in this tutorial, we'll be going over how to set up a physics-based slide in your game. So essentially what I mean by that is the slide will be affected by the slope that you're sliding on. So you can see if I start sprinting and crouch, it will do a slide. And if I do it on a flat surface, then it just basically does a normal slide. But if I do it down a slope, you can see it slides me down the slope and I kind of gain speed as I go down it. If I try to slide up something, it will actually stop me pretty early because I'm going uphill and I'm losing momentum.
It's pretty cool.
It also
We'll get to that later though.
And we go to the designer tab, and we go to the order, and we come down here, and we find something to just on, mouse, up, down. So let's just hit this and say pre-finding. What we want to do
Mm. I think we need to get to the debug section of drawing the drop zone, and that's going to help clarify things. So let's skip ahead a bit here.
quick. It's actually kind of complicated to explain. So you can see this green border that's showing behind it. It's not perfectly behind the it's not perfectly behind the border of the dragon. It only shows up inside the tile. So if you look at where the mouse actually is, so right now it's inside of trying to put it in the center of this tile. So if you look at the tile that's around the mouse, you can see it's pretty much in the center of the tile. If I start going to the left side of the tile, you can see the green border shifts left because it sees that you're more to the left, so it shifts to the left. And if you go to the right, you can see the green border shift to 2D for the position of the mouse. So input ramp, and then we also need local variables for these because we'll be using it later. So we'll say right click, promote the local variable of drag. Let's see our operation. So once you get this out, so we'll say get operation. We're going to do this right down here because it's going to be a little long. And we want to actually we can call right now we'll do this. We'll say get payload, and we want enter false. We just want that at 0. So something like this, and then from it, so we'll say local, and we just how do we know? Yeah, okay, so now we have this, we can try to run this again. So we run this, and we go into guns, and we start dragging it, and drop it. You can see it now. We'll drop it at wherever we selected. But we would like to be able to see like where it's dropping it at, and we also want to see if it's a bad drop or not. And currently, also right now, if I drop it on top of something that's already there, it's just deleted basically because we're not handling that case. So if we come back to, actually, let me look at something real quick. Where am I saying? Okay. So yeah, let's go back and finish the on drop function first, and then we'll figure out the highlight stuff. So on drop. So inside of here, we want to get this operation again. So we'll say get operation. And what we're doing right now is we're running code for if there is no room available, or where we're trying to drop that. If that's the case, then what we want to do is we want to try to add right to inventory somewhere else. We don't care where exactly, just add to that available slot. But if we can't even do that, then we just want to drop it somewhere. So first thing I'm going to do is just here, we're going to say get payload. And like I said before, we want to try to add it to inventory. So we'll say inventory component, try add item. And then the item we're going to add is obviously our payload. Drag this around. And so if that succeeds, then like everything's great. But if it does not succeed, so we want to do a not boolean and do a branch. If that does not succeed, then we want to drop it on the ground. So that's how we put it inside the game state, so we can easily access it. So we'll just say get game state.
Into the unknown they plunged, oblivious to their plight, while Joker journeyed deeper and deeper into the labyrinth. Is it success that awaits Bulma and Krillin, or an untimely end? With every step, Goku gets further away from being able to help his friends. Stay tuned for more Dragon Ball.
And we will cast to my game state. And then we hope this valid, and it works. If we try to drag it somewhere invalid, like here, you can see it pops up here because it just adds it wherever we can, same with the grenade or the knife. But if we drag things out, you can see they drop just fine. And so everything seems to be working. The only real thing we need to do right now is the rotation, and then having it show the little green and red behind the like where we're hovering over basically. So that's not going to be too hard. So let me just check where I'm doing this. Right, so on the inventory grid widget, we want to go back to the event graph here, and we want to override. Let me just delete this stuff because we don't actually need it. We only really care about two events in here, so we override on drag enter. Find it. On drag enter. So when drag enters, we want to set our drop location to true. So basically, whenever we start doing a drag operation, we want to draw that background.
Event on drag enter. This is the grid component. Okay, so event on drag enter.
Brown color, the green and the red. And then on leave, so we'll also override on drag leave. We want to set it to false. And so now, if we go to our on paint function, which we did in part one, if you remember that long ago, we have this to do over here for drawing the drop location. So we can actually write that now. So basically what we want to do is we want to first of all just make sure that we are actually adding something. So we'll say is, I guess I didn't delete that comment. Well, yeah, we did. Well, so we'll say is drag dropping. So this is going to return true if we're currently in the process of making a drag operation. And so if that's the case, we want to say and boolean, and we want to check this boolean that we just set to true. So if we're dragging drop something and we've been told to draw the drop location.
Okay.
Let's do a branch to make sure both of those are true. And if they are both true, then we want to get the payload. So we will, first of all, get the drag drop operations of get, drag, drop, constant. And then from there, we will say get payload, which is the function group. Which gets the payload for us as an item object. And then from there, we want to check if there is room available under where we are hovering the item. Because if you remember, I'll just run my other project real quick. If there is not room available, so if I try to drag it like this, it shows as red. If there is room available, it shows as green. So we need to check if room is available. So we'll say is room available for payload. And then we will drag out this.
Are we calculating that already, though? It's a bunch of loops.
Do a select node, and we will eventually be calling draw box. So we want to draw a box, and then the color is going to be either green or red. So
Alright.
if we drag in the return node here to the 10th, and then for true, you can set it to be whatever you want. So for true, I used like a green color. So, or wait, what color do I use exactly? So I used 0, 1, 0, and
Okay. Okay.
So tough? Oh, yeah? Then why were you hiding behind that rock? Wow, you weren't so short, he would have blown your head off. I'm not short. Not only are you short, but you're short-sighted. That's why you almost got killed. You should know better than to open the gold chest, duh. Right in the middle? It was a setup. Oh, and which chest would a tall, brilliant person like you live on? Well, that dull one there. No one would think to open it first. Except a genie's like you, right? Exactly. Very perceptive.
Look at the entrance to your new pad. It's jazzy, baby. Yeah, well, it's time to die, small fry.
Wait. I want to give you something first.
What's that, Cat Daddy?
I'll show you. It's called the Kamehameha Wave.
Show up to Papa.
It's true. I don't know. Some treasure. Boy, it sure is teeny in here. I wonder what roasted octopus tastes like. I'm starving. Hey, there's not no rat. It tastes a little like chicken. What now? Do you think it's to a door? No, there ain't door to be thinking of. Yeah, good point. Hey, Mama, check it out. That's gotta be it. Yeah, good eye. This could be big trouble. Oh, yeah. Look how beautiful. It's incredible. You know what this means, don't you?
I'm afraid that you're both mistaken. That treasure belongs to the Red Ribbon Army.
No good, Polly's. Hello,
Touch me! Disgusting.
you rude. Funny for the big guy, you sure scares.
I doubt you'll think I'm so funny when you're dead. You have a death wish, don't you, cue ball?
Just 'cause you're tall and muscle-bound doesn't mean I can't stop you, pal.
Oh, you think so, huh?
I know so.
Yeah, what up, dude?
It sounded like Krillin. That hurts.
Yeah, it's very like detail oriented and picky. I'm kind of struggling with something right now. Um, where like there's something wrong somewhere in the calculations of the drop target location, so like it sort of works, but it doesn't work exactly. Like if I drop it in the wrong spot, it's failing to find an insert location. So like I'm trying to get the debug drawing online here so that
That's it. You did it now.
Girl Scout can put up a tougher fight than you. Believe me, I know.
Oh, yeah? I'll see about that.
Come on, then. Put 'em up now.
I know we're gonna have to do this.
That's it, Krillin. He's such a big pussy. Shoot his You're through. Get out, Sippy.
How could you take something so beautiful?
All right. Let's see how
And
he
0.5,
gets the
and
position
then for red, I
here.
probably just used 1, 0, 0, and 0.25. Okay, so that's the tint. For the brush, we can select our SP color, which we created in part 1, which is just a default slate brush. But this is why we
Uh, hold up. I didn't do that.
color is going to be either green or red. So we drag it here to tint, and then for true, you can set it to be whatever you want. So for true, I used like a green color. So, or wait, my products I used exactly. So I used 0, 1, 0, and 0.25, and then for red, I probably just used 1, 0, 0, and 0.25. Okay, so that's the tint. For the brush, we can select our SP color, which we created in part 1, which is just a default slate brush. This is why we need it. And then it needs the position, and it needs the size, and it needs the context. So the context is just get context, which again is coming from up here. The position is going to be the top left tile, so we'll drag in the top left tile. We're going to do let me actually we're going to do this, clean this up a little, move this guy up here, so we can have some stuff down here. Okay, so we drag item from the tile, we want to multiply this by a float, so we will say, oh, we can't do that, we need to convert this to a, what is this one? We need to convert this to a
Sounded like she said D's nuts. All right, here we go.
This whole place is falling apart.
Now, do I have to have the brush? That's the question. Or will it work without it? Okay, it won't work without it. So, I guess that means I gotta go find the first one.
Hey guys, and welcome to another one of my tutorials. So in this video, I'll be showing you how to set up a spatially based inventory system like you see right here. So before we go to something that you can work corner, because there's no room. 4, I have it set to 6 by 15, but if you want to change it to like 10 by 4, you can easily do that. And so now if we run it, you can see from 1 by 1 to 2 by 2, and then hit play. I'm just going to call it. But we're going to first second just put it that way. So bear with me if it takes a while, but you'll definitely learn a lot if you actually follow through it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is create the inventory widget that shows up on the screen and get like a grid showing on the right. And then after that, we'll start working on items. So let's come back here to the project folder. And inside here, let's make a new folder and call it inventory. So right click and make a new folder. We'll go and create a new actor grid section to make things a little more organized. Structure to help us draw the lines that make up. So inside here, we just want to create a start point and an end point. Let's save that and call it tile. And this is basically represent a specific tile inside the grid. It is a slate brush. And I'll come back to why we actually need this probably towards the end when we actually use it. But for now, let's just go ahead and create it. So we don't have to do it later. So to do that, we're going to right click and go to user interfaces and make a slate brush. And I'm just going to call it SP for slate brush, for color. And we actually don't need to change anything about this. We just need to exist so that we can use it. So yeah.
That's what it was.
If you let us go, they're yours.
I really appreciate the offer, but I don't make deals to get what I want. I just take it. Now, no more interruptions.
Ah. Yeah, so clearly something's wrong with our logic here. It's jumping 2 entire squares. But this is what I was looking for. Uh-huh. But now at least we can see where it's gonna go. Or not.
Of course, I put him down easily enough.
you're going down.
Let's see. Why is it so jacked up?
Squares off against the dangerous General Blue. The old pirate's hideout is caving in on top. Time is running out.
I'm echoing.
Next time on Dragon Ball.
Uh, all right. So we have at least a shitty inventory that barely works. We're firing drop events. So, like, we have to integrate this with our objects, but I think what it boils down to is just an object container that has a UObject state and 3 classes. It'd be the pickup class for, like, the object that can be picked up. It'd be the weapon class for the object that we actually spawn on the character if it's equipped. And then it would be the inventory class for the actual like inventory widget stuff. So I'm trying to avoid doing anything with like him picking up and putting down objects, and just working entirely within like some test objects that we're adding to the inventory because we have to rig it together with our system, which is similar but not exactly the same. All right. Why is this fucked up? Why is this fucked up? This calculation is wrong. And that is on drag over that this gets set. Hang on a second. If I'm in the right quadrant, okay, yeah, that seems okay. Okay, we need to revisit this function, I think, on drag over. Mm. Oh, I knew that.
Some treasure. This could be big trouble.
So we will take this. Actually, I'm just going to copy all this, paste, and then we'll paste the copy this up here. And then I don't think we actually change anything. We just hook this up into the down up here. Let me just double check that that is correct. Yes, I think it is. Okay. So for this guy,
Mouse position and tile.
That treasure belongs to the Red Ribbon Army.
General Blue challenged Krillin for control of the prize. But thanks to his training with Master Roshi, Krillin was somewhat less than intimidated. It didn't take long for Blue to realize that he would need more than tough talk to get the young fighter to back.
Position mod the size. Mod the size. Mod the size. Greater than half the tile size if this or this is greater than half the tile size. Then in this case it means we're in the right quadrant, and in this case it means we're in the down quadrant. That seems correct.
Yeah, we can make it private, and we can also make it constant as well. And then we can come back here to our on drop, or no, where were we? We were inside of on drag over, right? So inside of on drag over, we want to then use this function. So we'll say, where is it? Mouse position to the tile, and we'll pass in our mouse position.
Hang on. Absolute to local geometry.
It looked like the end for Krillin, but at the last possible moment, Goku burst into the scene to give General Blue a new challenge.
Is what's happening. So we want to make a function that tells us if it's like on the right side, left side, top side, bottom side. So we'll make a function, and let's see here, a function, and we will call it mouse divide bold. So inside of on drag over, we want to then use this up, or no, we were inside of on drag over, right?
Pointer event, screen space position, absolute to local, my geometry. Pointer event, screen space position, absolute to local, my geometry.
So inside of on drag over, we want to then use this function. So we'll say, where is it? Mouse position to the tile, and we'll pass in our mouse position, and then we'll also make variables for these. We'll be using it later. So we'll say right click, promote to local variable, and we'll call this right local, and right click again, promote to local variable, and we'll call this down local, like so. And then now that we have where the position of the mouse is inside the tile, we can use that to calculate this drag item top left. So to do that, let's get our operation. So once we get this guy, so we'll say get operation. We're going to just put it down here because it's going to be a little long, and we want to actually we can call or no, we'll just do this. We'll say get payload, and we want to cast this to our item object, cast to item object, and we'll make this clear cast. And so from here, we're going to get dimensions of the object, so get dimensions, and we're going to split this guy, and we are going to do a int subtract, so integer minus integer, and we want to subtract 1 if we are on the right side, otherwise we don't want to do anything, so we will say drag in right, and we will say select, and we will hook up the input into there, and then if it's true, we will pass it 1, and if it's false, we just want to leave that at 0, so something like this, and then we want to click this value, so say clamp integer.
Wait.
Thanks, little girl, but I'll take it from here.
I see. Okay, seems fine. Target, payload, dimensions. Wait, is that right? It shouldn't be the dimensions, right? It should be the mouse position.
You sure do kiss the ground a lot. It's amazing.
between 0 and whatever the max is. We basically just make sure it's equal to 0. And then we're going to copy this, paste, and do the same thing to apply, except we want to replace the right local with down, so we just drag this up top. So we have down local and up, and we want to take this value and make, oops, take these values and make a point from it. So we'll say make int point, make int point, like so. And then we want to divide this by 2, so we need the center. So we'll say integer divided by, or int point divided by integer, and we will pass it 2. And we want to take this back. Value, and we want to subtract it from the mouse's position, basically. So we'll say get mouse position, local, and we will say divided by the tile size, which is over here. And then we want to subtract. So we actually want to
Jesus.
Something to say?
use a int point subtraction. So we search for int point subtract. We want this one, so int point, and then we want to split this top pin.
Stay with me. We have a long way to go. Relax. You look a bit stiff. You should enjoy life, one.
And we want to split this and then hook these up. And it's going to do a truncate, and that's okay, because we want to truncate. And then this is going to be the subtract, and then this is going to be our drag top left. So I know that was a lot to follow, but
Just when you're beginning to have fun. Well, I guess we'll have to go to the abridged version. Kids, here's how this works. Now, I'm only going to say this once, so pay attention. You tell me where the Dragon Ball is, and I can blow his head off. Stop talking.
Hey. Why is it red there, but green here?
Extraordinary. That is the last place I would have thought to look. The Red Ribbon Army.
Yeah, so I think currently this is being relative to the mouse point, but it should be relative to the top corner of the box, right?
Hey, I can move again. That's great. Goku, quick, now's your chance. Get him while he's distracted. You get more to the head for me. Why are you scared? It's just a mouse.
Did you see the size of its tail?
Just curious what happens if I do that. Nothing. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, we have like an XY crossed somewhere, like a wire crossed or something. Um, all right. Well, I may take a break here and kind of just fight through these bugs on my own, and then come back once I have it working. So later.